Hell did not wait long. On the seventh night after the child's birth, the air around Ravenfall turned heavy, thick with sulfur and fear. Fires went out on their own. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, crawling across walls like living things. Mara felt it first. She woke with a gasp, clutching the baby to her chest. His tiny body was warm, too warm. The faint golden glow around him flickered, as if reacting to something unseen. Azrith, she whispered urgently. The demon lord was already standing. His wings were half spread, his eyes burning brighter than usual. He stared at the darkness outside the chapel doors. They found us. Before Mara could speak, the ground split open. Black flames erupted as Hell's enforcers emerged. Towering demons clad in armor carved from bone, their faces hidden behind skull masks. Chains wrapped around their arms, dragging sparks across the stone. At their center stood Malgrith, the executioner of Hell. The child, Malgrith said flatly. Hand him over. Azrith stepped forward, darkness surging around him. He is mine. Malgrith tilted his head. He is Hell's property. Mara clutched the baby tighter. He's just a child. Malgrith's hollow gaze turned to her. So were the millions your lover slaughtered. Azrith roared. The chapel exploded into chaos. Darkness slammed into demons as Azrith fought with brutal precision, tearing armor apart, crushing skulls, burning chains to ash. The walls shook with every blow. But more demons kept coming. Mara ran. She slipped through a hidden passage beneath the altar. Azrith had carved it long ago, just in case. The tunnel twisted deep into the earth, damp and narrow. The baby whimpered softly. It's okay, she whispered desperately. Mama's here. A demon dropped from the ceiling ahead of her. Mara screamed. Before it could touch her, the baby cried. Not loud, not angry, just afraid. The demon screamed instead. Its body twisted, collapsing in on itself as if crushed by invisible hands. The darkness around it dissolved, leaving nothing but ash. Mara froze, shaking. The baby fell silent, eyes glowing faintly gold and black. Oh, God, she whispered. What are you? Above them, Azrith felt it. His power, his endless, violent rage, was weakening the closer demons came to the child. For the first time, Hell's forces were afraid. Malgrith snarled. He's destabilizing the realm. Kill the mother. The order cut deeper than any blade. Azrith turned, eyes widening in horror. No! A spear of infernal energy tore through the tunnel entrance, collapsing stone behind Mara. Dust filled the air. She stumbled, falling to her knees. Malgrith appeared before her, towering and merciless. Give me the child, he repeated. Mara looked down at her baby. He reached up, tiny fingers wrapping around her thumb. Something inside her hardened. No. Malgrith raised his blade. The baby laughed. The sound echoed unnaturally, soft, pure, devastating. Light and shadow exploded outward. The tunnel collapsed completely, sealing Mara and the child inside a cocoon of glowing stone. Above ground, Hell shook. Azrith felt the severing. No, he whispered. Malgrith staggered back, clutching his head. What have you done? Azrith looked at his hands. His power was slipping, unraveling, being pulled toward the child. Rage turned into terror. They don't want him as a prince, Azrith realized. They want him dead. Malgrith growled. Then Hell will burn for it. He vanished with his forces, retreating into the abyss. Silence fell. Azrith tore through the rubble until he found the sealed chamber. Inside, Mara sat against a stone wall, cradling the baby, both unharmed. He collapsed beside them. I failed you, he said hoarsely. Mara shook her head. You protected us. Azrith looked at the child, dread and awe mixing in his eyes. Hell will never stop, and heaven will follow. Mara swallowed. Then what do we do? Azrith hesitated, then spoke words no demon lord had ever spoken. We hide him in the human world. Mara stared at him. You'd give him up? Azrith closed his eyes. I would give up everything. The baby yawned, resting peacefully between them, unaware that Hell had just lost its claim. Far below, Ancient bells rang once more. This time, not in fury, in warning. The night the baby was born, hell screamed. The moon above Ravenfall village turned crimson, as if the sky itself had been wounded. Dogs howled. Church bells cracked in half. And deep beneath the earth, ancient seals began to break, one by one. Mara Hale lay screaming on the cold stone floor of the abandoned chapel, her body trembling as pain tore through her. Blood soaked the ground beneath her, but it wasn't just human blood. It burned. "Don't let him be born," whispered the shadows crawling along the walls. "Kill the child," hissed unseen voices. "End this mistake." Mara cried harder, clutching her swollen belly. "No, please, he's innocent." A sudden gust of black fire erupted at the center of the chapel. From it stepped Azrith, the demon lord of the Ninth Circle. Tall, horned, cloaked in living darkness. His eyes glowed like dying stars, cold, merciless, eternal. This was a being who had erased civilizations without blinking, a name that made hell kneel. And yet his hands were shaking. "Mara," he said, his voice deep and broken, "it's too dangerous. The child is ours," she screamed. "You don't get to be afraid now." Azrith clenched his fists. "You don't understand. This child is not just half-demon. Thunder split the sky. He is a prophecy." The chapel walls cracked as the ground trembled. From the air itself, chains of glowing runes began forming. Ancient seals placed by heaven long ago. Mara gasped, "What's happening?" Azrith turned sharply. "Heaven knows." A blinding white light burst through the shattered roof. Winged figures descended, angels, armored in silver and gold, their eyes empty of mercy. "The child must not live," one of them declared. "His existence threatens balance." Azrith roared. Darkness exploded from him, smashing two angels into the walls. "Touch my child," he growled, "and I will turn heaven into ash." Mara screamed as the pain peaked. And then the baby cried. The sound was soft, human, small, but hell reacted instantly. Far below, demons collapsed in agony. Towers cracked. Rivers of fire went silent. The cry didn't command darkness. It stilled it. The angels staggered back, clutching their heads. "What is this?" one whispered in fear. Azrith froze. The baby lay in Mara's arms, tiny, trembling, with dark hair damp against his forehead. His eyes opened slowly. One eye was deep gold, the other pure black. When the baby looked at Azrith, the demon lord fell to his knees. Azrith whispered, choking, "I can't feel my rage." Mara pulled the baby close, tears streaming down her face. "He's beautiful." The baby reached out with his tiny fingers and touched Azrith's clawed hand. The darkness around Azrith recoiled. For the first time in eternity, the demon lord felt something unfamiliar. Fear. The angels retreated, vanishing into light. But hell was not done. From the depths below, a voice thundered, ancient, furious, absolute. "The child belongs to hell." The ground split open beneath the chapel. Azrith stood instantly, wings spreading wide. He turned to Mara, eyes blazing with panic. "They will come for him," he said. "Demons, kings, gods." Mara held the baby tighter. "Then we run." Azrith stared at the child, at the fragile life that had just rewritten his existence. "I was born to destroy worlds," he said quietly. "But he?" The baby yawned softly, completely unaware the war his birth had begun. He might destroy hell itself. Outside, the red moon bled brighter, and the child destined to end an empire took his first breath. The human world smelled different. Rain, soil, fear. Azrith stood at the edge of the forest, shadows clinging to him like reluctant servants. Ahead lay a small town, warm lights glowing in windows, unaware that a demon lord watched from the dark. Mara held the baby close, wrapped in a warm blanket. His glow was dimmer now, quieter, as if he understood the need to hide. "He feels calmer here," she whispered. Azrith nodded. "Hell can't sense him fully in this realm." "Not yet." They reached a lonely farmhouse at the edge of town, abandoned, forgotten. Azrith placed wards carved for his own power into the earth, each one tearing something vital from him. His horns dulled slightly. His wings trembled. Mara noticed. Azrith, you're weakening. That's the point, he said. The less I am, the safer he'll be. Inside the farmhouse, dawn crept through broken windows. The baby stirred, eyes opening, one gold, one black, watching his father with unsettling calm. Azrith knelt. I don't know how to be this, he admitted softly. I was made to conquer, to destroy. The baby reached out. His fingers brushed Azrith's chest, and something ancient unraveled. Azrith gasped as memories burned through him. Screams, fire, obedience through terror. They peeled away, leaving emptiness behind. Power drained. Purpose shattered. Mara cried out. Stop, he's hurting you. Azrith shook his head. No, he's freeing me. The air split. A blade of white light tore the farmhouse roof as angels descended. 6 of them, faces masked in cold judgment. The child is an anomaly, their leader declared. He must be erased. Azrith rose slowly, wings half-formed now, shadow flickering. You will not touch him. You cannot stop us, the angel replied. You are already fading. Azrith looked at Mara, then at his son. A decision settled in him like stone. He turned to the angels and did the unthinkable. He knelt. I will surrender my true name, Azrith said. Erase me from hell's records. Strip me of my throne. Take my immortality. Mara screamed. No. The angels hesitated. True names were the core of demon existence. Without it, Azrith would become something lesser. And in return, Azrith continued, you will bind yourselves by oath. You will never hunt this child. Silence stretched. The angels conferred in light. Agreed, the leader said at last. But know this, without your name, you will die as mortals do. Azrith smiled faintly. Then I will finally live. Light wrapped around him, tearing something fundamental away. His horns vanished. His wings dissolved into ash. His eyes lost their burning glow, turning dark, human. He collapsed. Mara caught him. Sobbing, the angels vanished. The farmhouse fell silent, except for the baby's soft breathing. Azrith opened his eyes slowly, confused. Weak. Mara held his face. Do you know who you are? He searched his thoughts. I don't remember my name. Tears streamed down her face. That's okay. I do. She pressed her forehead to his. You're his father. The baby laughed quietly, a gentle sound that warmed the room. The glow around him faded completely. Human, at least on the surface. Days passed. Azrith, now just a man, learned pain, hunger, exhaustion. He learned to hold his son, without claws, to walk without shadows, obeying him. But hell was not done. Deep below, Malgrith watched through a pool of fire. He's vulnerable, the executioner hissed. Now! Mara sensed it too, an ache in her chest, a countdown she couldn't explain. One night, as snow began to fall, Mara grew suddenly weak. She collapsed, coughing blood. Azrith panicked. What's happening? Mara smiled faintly, touching the baby's cheek. His power needed a balance. I think I was it. No, Azrith whispered. I won't lose you. She shook her head. Promise me. He grows up loved, not feared. Azrith clutched her hand. I swear. Mara kissed the baby's forehead and went still. The world didn't scream. Azrith did. He held her until morning, until the baby cried softly. Hungry, alive, innocent. Azrith wiped his tears. He buried Mara beneath a tree warmed by winter light, carving her name with shaking hands. Years passed in a single breath. The boy grew, quiet, kind, with eyes that saw too much. He calmed anger with a touch. He healed animals without knowing how. One evening, the boy looked up at Azrith. Papa, he asked, why do people feel better when I smile? Azrith knelt, pulling him close. Because, he said, voice breaking, you were born to choose. Far away, hell's bells rang again, not in warning, in fear. Hell returned quietly. No fire, No armies, just a whisper moving through the human world. The boy, now 16, felt it before anyone else. He stood at the edge of the forest, snow crunching beneath his boots, his breath fogging the cold air. His eyes, one gold, one black, watched the shadows with calm awareness. "They're afraid," he said softly. Azra stepped beside him. Older now, lines of age carved into his human face. "They should be." The boy turned. "They're here for you." Azra smiled sadly. "They've always been." The ground split open. Malgrith emerged, darker than before, his armor cracked with rage. Around him, lesser demons crawled into the world, careful, cautious. "Child," Malgrith said, "you are old enough to choose." The boy tilted his head. "Choose what?" "Rule hell," Malgrith answered, "or watch your father die." Azra stepped forward. "Don't listen to him." The boy looked at his father. This man who had once ruled terror now struggled to chop wood and smile through grief. "I already chose," the boy said. Malgrith laughed. "You can't escape what you are." The boy closed his eyes. Light spread across the snow, not blinding, not violent. Warm. "I am not here to rule hell," he said. "I am here to end it." Malgrith lunged. The boy raised one hand. Hell screamed, not in pain, in release. The chains binding demons to endless rage shattered. Fire dimmed. The rift behind Malgrith began to collapse inward, folding in on itself like a dying star. Malgrith fell to his knees. "What have you done?" The boy walked forward calmly. "You were born without choice." "I wasn't." He placed his hand on Malgrith's chest. Darkness drained, not destroyed, but stilled. Malgrith crumbled into ash, not screaming, relieved. The rift closed completely. Silence fell. The boy collapsed. Azrith caught him, terror flooding his chest. "Stay with me, please." The boy smiled faintly. "It's okay, Papa." The glow faded from his eyes. The gold dimmed. The black softened. He breathed, human. The power was gone. Days passed. The boy survived, but he was changed. No glow, no miracles, just a human heart that beat with quiet strength. Years later, the world healed in small ways. People argued less. Nightmares came less often. Rage no longer felt endless. Azrith watched his son stand beneath Mara's tree, now tall and strong. "Do you regret it?" Azrith asked. The boy shook his head. "I didn't lose anything." He smiled. "I chose to be human." Azrith's eyes filled with tears. Hell never returned. No throne was rebuilt. No king rose. Only stories remained, whispers of a child born from darkness who ended it not with fire, but with mercy. And somewhere beyond the trees, the wind carried a woman's laughter. The boy looked up, smiling. "Mama would have liked this world," he said. Azrith nodded. Yes, she would. Under a sky no longer bleeding, a former demon lord and a human boy walked home together, not as prophecy, not as monsters, but as family,